Yo, what's up guys, my name's Hakiii and here are the best vehicles for beginners in GTA Online. I thought I'd make an updated version because the last one I did was over 3 years ago. And a quick special announcement, I made a brand new channel which I'll link down below at the top of the description, only for the super fans. It's a soccer/football channel, so only if you're interested in that, go check it out, drop a sub and watch some of the awesome videos. I'm trying to be as active as I can on that channel since it's another passion of mine. I'm really big both into gaming and sports. If you want to see the soccer/football content side of me, feel free to check it out, but let's get back into the video. First vehicle you should get as a beginner is the Duke of Death. When you log into GTA Online and go into the Warstock website, it's gonna appear free for you, so instead of a couple $100,000, which it usually is, this is a super rare case of a free armored vehicle. You're not gonna see this often in GTA Online. It takes 3 sticky bombs to fully blow up the vehicle, and I believe 2 rockets, and so what I like to do, even though it doesn't make too much sense, is place a sticky bomb on the inside of the vehicle, and once you're next to a police car or let's say another player you want to take out, you're able to blow up that sticky bomb and nothing will happen to you, even though technically an explosive just went off on the inside of the vehicle. Nothing will happen to you as long as your vehicle can withstand the sticky bomb. As you're seeing in the gameplay, I did use it with some police cars next to me, and because of that explosion, the other car that's unarmored actually blew up. Now the passenger seat is actually safer to be in than the driver's seat, just because you have a smaller window to hit in the passenger seat, as you can see on the front of the car, and the window plating do help a bit as well, so it's both explosive resistant and bullet resistant, so you got the best of both worlds basically. Now the Duke of Death is cute and all, but if you want to go for real armor, you gotta get the Brickade 6x6. It's by far one of the most armored vehicles in the entire game. It takes about 50 explosives to fully blow up the vehicle, so it's gonna take a freaking while for someone to get you. Plus it's a super heavy vehicle, so it's got a lot of ramming power, and one of the most fun things you can do is just drive against traffic on the highway and just boot other cars out the way easily. You can unlock this vehicle by doing some first dose missions, which is through the R icon in Sandy Shores. That's gonna unlock you the Freak Shop property, which then inside of there you can actually buy the Brickade 6x6 for 750,000, and it's actually a business itself too. Some people refer to it as the Brickade 6x6 and some refer to it as the Acid Lab, because if you go in the back of the vehicle, you literally have a running business. You don't need any money to start the first dose missions, which is nice, so you're automatically making money right away, which then you can use that money to actually purchase the truck itself. Another car that's tied to the first and last dose missions is the Ocelot Virtue. It's actually an electric supercar that you can get completely for free instead of buying it for its original price of over $2 million. So how you get it for free is simply by completing the first and last dose missions, and then at the very end you get the car with the special livery as a reward. Sure, it takes a bit of grinding. I mean, it is, I believe, about 11 or 12 missions total, but I mean, they don't take too long each. It's not like a whole heist or anything. It's 2 sets of different missions, and then at the end you get an awesome supercar, which is actually a Monitech upgradable, meaning you can put a special upgrade on it if you have the agency property, because inside of the agency vehicle workshop you can apply the Monitech upgrade, which gives you a missile lock-on jammer, so no weaponized vehicle can lock onto you with homing missiles, meaning not only is this a great performing supercar, but it's also a very safe car to be in general. And besides the free cars on this list, another extremely cheap option that's also a very useful vehicle to have in general is the Batty 801 motorcycle. It's a really cool racing motorcycle that's only 15,000 bucks in the Southern San Andreas website. It's so cheap that you're going to be spending more money on the upgrades than actually buying the vehicle itself, which is kind of crazy to think about. Extremely affordable and a very good all-arounder motorcycle, especially for the price. It's great for stunting, pulling wheelies, racing. Such a good vehicle to get you from point A to point B, and you can try and beat the regular time trial with this bike as well to get yourself $100,000. Another great and affordable option for motorcycles is the BF400. Now this is more of an off-roading motorcycle, so it's a bit of a different style than the Batty. Batty 801 is more for on-road, BF400 is more for off-road, and you can get the BF400 in the same website for 95,000 bucks, which is of course $80,000 more than the Batty, but it still is extremely cheap. I mean, under 100k is crazy. You're going to be spending a similar amount of money on the upgrades as you buying the vehicle, which still shows the bike is extremely cheap. Also super easy to pull wheelies with, and it's a great option for off-road races. It's one of the fastest vehicles you can choose for off-road races. I believe this vehicle is both in the off-road class and I think also in the motorcycles class, so you can use it for multiple types of races, which is really rare to see. On top of the Ocelot Virtue, another great option for a supercar, which is also a relatively affordable one for beginners, even though for the budget-friendly standards of this video, it would be considered kind of pricey, but we're talking about the Pegassi Zentorno. In the Legendary Motorsport website, it's going to cost you $725,000, which might sound like a lot, but compared to other top-tier supercars, it's really not. And as someone that loves exploring in Los Santos Customs, this is a really good car to customize. Nice selection of liveries, and there's also some cool bumper options, a lot of different spoiler options, which I like. And like the Batty 801 being a great overall motorcycle, this is a great overall supercar. It's got some great handling, pretty easy to drive around, solid speed, and I like the engine sound of it too. Another armored car, now we're gonna have two different options for this one. The budget option is going to be the armored Kuruma, which is only bullet resistant, not explosive resistant. It's gonna cost you about $525K. The much better option, which is both bullet and explosive resistant, is the Night Shark. Now it's gonna cost you in the low 1 millions, which is the most expensive in this video so far at least, but it's just a much better version of the armored Kuruma. So if I were you, I'd actually save the money and go the extra mile for the Night Shark, because with the armored Kuruma, you just have some of the windows blocked off to make it harder for people to shoot you through, but with the Night Shark, you have that plus a lot more. It takes 6 rockets to fully blow up the vehicle, which is very good rocket resistance, and it's considered weaponized too, since it has a machine gun on the front of it, which you can just ongoingly spam, so it's got unlimited ammo, which is nice. And as you're seeing in the gameplay, I did the exact same thing I did with the Duke of Death, just with the Night Shark, which actually takes more explosives, so you could just ongoingly place sticky bombs on the door of the vehicle, which is technically on the inside. Drive by the vehicle you want to blow up, explode the sticky bomb, and you're going to be completely fine, and the vehicle next to you is going to be the one blowing up. Very cheeky little trick if you didn't know about it. And overall, it's a solid handling vehicle with some decent speed, considering it is armored. It is meant to be a relatively heavy vehicle, and by the way, yes, it does have some pretty solid ramming capabilities as well, so overall great performance on this too. Something we haven't talked about yet in this video is an air vehicle. Now, air vehicles are pretty freaking useful in this game. We're gonna have two different options for helicopters, and you can choose which one you think suits you better. First is the Buzzard, which doesn't have any requirements for actually buying it. You just need the money. I believe it's $1,750,000, equipped with both a machine gun and homing missiles on this thing. It's got some decent tracking as well, and overall it just looks like a badass helicopter. I especially like the fact that as an owner of a CEO office, I can easily go in the interaction menu and request one through the CEO vehicles at any time I want, and it's going to spawn right next to me within a second. But the same can be done with the second helicopter, which in my opinion is a little bit better, the Sparrow helicopter. But for this one, you actually need to be owning a Kosaka submarine before buying it. So if you happen to have that vehicle slash business, you could just buy the Sparrow as an add-on, and then it just spawns inside of the submarine. It's about an extra $1.8 million for the vehicle itself, but the downside is, again, you do need to be owning a certain property in order to get it. And so technically it is more expensive than just an extra 15K, since the Buzzard is 1.75 and the Sparrow is 1.8. Despite being overall more expensive to get, it's a much better helicopter. It's much faster. It's actually the fastest helicopter in the entire game. It's super fast. It's actually faster than some planes. It's got the homing missiles, and it's got flare countermeasures, so if you get locked onto you can activate the flares, and then the missiles could basically track away from you. That's a very good defensive feature that the Sparrow does have and the Buzzard doesn't. An honorable mention would be the Elegy RH8, which is another free car you can get in the Legendary Motorsport website. From a community point of view, it's an overall pretty mediocre sports car, but for a free car, it is absolutely amazing. And especially for beginners, it's a really good one to have, so don't expect it to be able to compete with the top tier sports cars, but it's definitely a very good one. I hope you went on to find this video helpful. If you did, drop a like on it and subscribe if you are new to the channel so you don't miss any more awesome videos like these. And if you like this video, click the one on screen now for the best properties you must own in GTA Online. I hope you all enjoy that video, and peace.